Okay, so welcome all to the stream of week 3, Mat 2. I will be studying and trying to teach you what I learned, and the rules are the same. Whenever you see the screen is black, you can simply skip on to the next portion when the screen is not black, when basically there is content on the screen. Uh, why do I do this? I do this to prepare some material on my end, to take breaks, to attend someone at the door, to go pee, whatever you want. Just imagine a scenario that I'm not available, I'm AFK, and just skip to the next part. Alright, let me first check whether the stream is going alright or is there any issue, because there are issues. First check whether when the screen is not so the same whenever you see that screen is black, you can simply skip on the next portion when the screen is not. Okay, so I guess it's going all fine. I will I will request you to wait a few more minutes and then we'll start. Okay. Let's welcome to the people who will be watching this video later on in recorded format. Welcome, guys. This is week 3, and I will be covering week 3 in its entirety. There won't be any parts. I'll try to complete it in its entirety and there being no parts. However, no promises. As you can see, the screen is black. Let me simply let there be light. Right. We have this. Let's start with the week 3, and before that let me check whether the stream is going all right or not, because you do not want a bad recording. It's black. Let me simply let them. Okay, so week 3 basically will teach us about Vue.js. All right. A beginner's guide to It's a beginner's guide with common student questions. So let's start with the most basic question. What even is Vue.js? Basically, oh, they have also given pronunciation. Okay. It is a popular open source JavaScript framework for building user interfaces and single page application. Basically, this. It is single page. Whatever you do, you cannot scroll, you cannot do anything. This is a single page application or single page. Secondly, why do we use Vue? Basically, it is easy and it is lightweight and it helps us build complex apps by combining HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So in Mad1, we did HTML and CSS. However, we are also adding JavaScript to this. It also creates dynamic and interactive web pages. So what does framework mean here, right? What is the framework here? Right, open source JavaScript framework for building a user interface. So a framework is a set of tools and rules that help you build a software more easily by providing structure. Basically, okay, let me shift this. Right here, I'll ignore you, and this, what is this? Hey, come on, I ignored you. Alright. So suppose you have this. this and this packaged inside this. I'm using this and that, but once I tell you what I'm talking about, you'll get it much more better. Okay, I do not need, I just need a pencil. This is a module, this is another module, and this is the very last module in our case. Alright, and let's call it module alpha, let's call it module beta, and let's call this module gamma. Alright, and what this outer shell represents, this represents a framework. Okay, alright. Mind my writing, I'm writing with a mouse. Now basically it makes us very much advanced. It makes it easy to build a software, and it basically provides structure and reusable code. So this setting up your environment. So let's go and set up our Vue.js code. What we'll need is a code editor, a text editor like VS Codium or Sublime Text. We do have VS Codium here. A web browser, I have a ton, and Vue tools. Basically a browser extension. Let's go to this Vue tools, and the second step is install the extension for Chrome or Firefox. So let me get it. Go to start. What should I use? Blah blah blah. I do not need all of this. I need to install it, but how do I do that? Plugins API. Let's see. This is what they're talking about. No. Installation. Chrome extension. You do not have access to Chrome. Okay. You may have it as a student ID, right? So let me go on to my non-student ID. Let's add it to my Chrome. Add the extension. Okay, now this is the hard part. The wait. What is this? Did it happen or not? How do I check? Right click on any web page. Right click on any web page and select. Okay, no, not this. This, okay, I guess here. And then go to inspect. I go to inspect. After going to inspect, you should see a view tab in the developer tools. Memory, privacy, blah blah blah, computed layout, event listener. Where is it? I guess an HTML? No, not an HTML. Let's go and how to check whether working as an extension on my browser. This will take more time. Better to do this right here. Open your this, Control Shift I, Control Shift I. After that, once we are done with that, look for the View tab. After opening the check on the top row of the tabs alongside elements. View tab. Is there a View tab here? I cannot see one. Okay. So if it runs on a View browser only, then will it come? I don't think Perplexity does so. So let's go to the browsers. Let's check it right here. Okay, you go browser extension or add-ons. You have settings, then default browser, extension. Where is it? Extension. Nope, not here. Appearance, search engine, default browser, search engine, change it back to Google. So default search site, Yandex, not here. Okay, here you are. Extension. Okay. Sites that use Vue.js. Let's see. Let's say and recorder, lighthouse, blah blah blah. But not visit the site. Let's go and visit the site. Okay, Control Shift I. There still is no Vue.js. Still cannot find it. Give me a website that uses Vue. Alibaba. Still I cannot find. What were the steps? What were the steps? this is the view extension, I guess. Okay, that is the case. Let's do this. Vue.js not detected. The Vue.js is installed, I guess, but it's not showing, right? It's not coming up. So no worries, no worries. Let's move forward and try to create our own basic Vue application first. Okay. So before that, let's answer a simple question: why do I need Vue Dev Tools? Well, basically, it is easy to inspect, debug, and understand your Vue application using Vue. Let's make this clear. All right, copy this. Go here. Yes, don't save this, and even that. Let me paste it. Basically, it has a header section. It has title. We are including the Vue.js, and then this src line is the location, right? We are giving it the online location. As you can see, the https, it is an online location of where to access and where to open it. All right, then we close the body, close the head, and enter into the body. And there's a division called app. There will be message divs src application dot js. Okay, and for that, what we'll need is we need to save this. Let's save it. Okay, application dot html. That's how we need to save it, and also convert this into all files. Let's save it and click on it. Let's remove all of this. All right, there's this message. This is the very first time we have created anything using Vue. Okay, okay, let's go. Let's add JavaScript. Create a file name application.js. Okay, and to that we'll have to add this. But before that, let's move this here. Step 2, create a file named application.js. Now to do that, where does this want us, right? On an HTML file, or I mean a text file, or where? Let's ask. Which application do I need to run this on, or even save it on? All right, let's ask Perplexity. How do you run this? Very good. Save the files locally. Your folder. Okay, so inside a given folder, we'll have to save it. This. Okay, we'll run this. And application.js, how to run. So let's ask him, can I write the JS code inside a text file? Will it run? Till then, till the answer comes as he suggested. Let me just do this. go here, not the deletable folder, engineering, IIT Madras, Mat2, and right here. Let's paste it right here. A .js extension, not just .txt. Okay, done. So a .js extension will work, and a .txt extension won't. In JS file in HTML. Okay, done. No worries. No worries. Let's go here and copy this in its entirety. Notepad, just this once. Okay, okay. Control A, delete all of this. What this does is creates a new view folder, giving it extension name, and also creates an object with key message, the key being message, and when this key is accessed, it will print hello world. Okay, when we basically write this, right, console.log, and inside that if we pass on message and 0, right, if we pass this, then it will print hello world. Let's save this, control shift S. Okay, mat2 and application .js. All right, and save as type all files. Save. Let's go here, reload this, and we have an okay. All right, after that, even links view to the app. Okay, even links view to the hash app. Div hash app is, see, we gave an ID. All right, we created an ID in the HTML folder, as you can see, and here a message would have appeared. So whenever we click, let's double click on this. Now it shows hello world, whereas initially it was showing message. What happened? We linked the JavaScript code. For this one, always open in, okay, this JavaScript code by using E1. Is it E1 or EL? Let me see. EL. Okay, it's EL and not even. EL. When we write EL, and then if we connect that key to the hash app division of where's this? Open with. Is there no open in terminal? Nope. There has to be one. I'm pretty sure there has to be one. Open with. Choose another app. Notepad. Just this once. Okay. Now here you can see. Now you'll understand the need for this division ID app. Okay. These two get connected. EL connects this in the JavaScript to ID in the HTML code. If this was not done so, let's remove the hash for a minute. Okay, just remove the hash for a minute and then run this. Okay, I guess this was not saved, na? Let me also save this. Now see, it's message. However, if I convert and put a hash here and save it, the same application will write hello world. See how that works. Beautiful, beautiful. Mhm. After that, we are done with step 2. And a common question: what does this message mean? This is a template expression. View replaces it when the value of message with the value of message from your data. Okay, let's study about Vue.js reactivity. Basically, Vue.js automatically updates the AI when the data changes. Yes, we saw that. Okay, if we try the browser console, JavaScript, try in the browser console. Okay, so inside the browser, okay, inside the browser, if I go with, okay, there's no view option, right? What does app.message? Is there a console here? Okay, okay, inside the console we'll have to app.message equals to app.message equals to, all right, hello IITM BS students. Let me write fellow here. IITM BS students with exclamation mark. 3 is enough. And if I run it, see, oh, see, it changed immediately. And let me reload this once, but it will run back to it. Okay, so the original code will be taken from the code that we provide in the JS script. However, we can immediately change it. So basically, app dot what was it? App message dot message equals to, let's write INDIA, India, that is Bharat. See, okay, it works. And what is reactivity? Basically, reactivity means that when your data changes, the UI updates it automatically without you having to write extra codes for it. Okay, okay, but this is not permanent, as we just saw. This thing is not permanent. Let me remove this. Let's add let's add buttons and event handlers inside our code. Let me see right here. What it wants me to do is hash app division. It wants me to make this. I won't be writing it. I don't think we have time to write it, right? Let's understand it, as we are not making the project itself. If we were making project, we would have written it. Okay. Okay, I guess that works. That should work. Alright. Okay, so click equals say hi. Okay, say hi button. Let's save this and let's see what happens. Completely change our JavaScript code? I don't think so. Here in the JS code, in the JS one, we have, see, this was comment, right? These two forward slashes made it a comment. Let's remove this. This is of no use for us. And once this is done, after that we'll need a method. Okay, let's add a method. Okay, and let's see what difference does that make. Okay, hello world, reload this, and we have a button, say hi. We have a button, say hi, and if I click on it, okay, does anything happen? I did not save this, I guess. Does anything happen? No, nothing. Why? Let's check. Why? Let's check. Okay. This V on click equals say hi binds the button click to say hi method. Okay. So this creates the button. This creates the button which is clickable, right? As you can see right here. And in the JavaScript, what we are doing is we are basically binding this. To the say hi. Okay. So this is a code. Last time what we did was we made an HTML content and did something in the JavaScript, and using this EL function we binded this hello world from JavaScript to our XML file. However, this time what has happened is we are binding say hi button to the method say hi using Vion. Okay, this last time we went this side and this time we went this side. Okay, oh, Kung Fu Panda. It's something like this, right? This and then this. And after that, oh, Kung Fu Panda. I am completing this. I won't leave it till I've completed this. Kung Fu Panda. Little happiness while studying. Okay. Clicking the button will change the message to hi. Clicking the button will change the message to hi. Why is it not happening? We must have made some mistake here. Okay, this dot message, a message, hi. There's a printing block, right? Then how will this function, this dot message equals to hi? Basically, this is setting the value inside the message as hi, but okay, where is the mistake? Let's remove this, right? Let's remove this p block. Last time it wasn't there. Let's see what happens if we reload this. Okay, so basically p is just changing the line. Okay, we need that this. We need this. Why is it not happening? Yes. Clicking on say hi should, but okay. I have, I guess, done a mistake. If we go on to the previous one, let me just take this and keep it here. Until then, just sayonara. Data. Step 2, JavaScript data. but JavaScript, okay. In the JavaScript methods, data. Then what is the mistake? What is the mistake? Let's copy this. Let's copy this and ask GPT. GPT Baba. GPT Baba. Tell me where I'm wrong. But there's a small syntax error. You are missing a comma between data and methods. Okay. Okay. There has to be a comma here. See? Damn, it works. Yay! We got it working. Okay, okay. Let's before doing anything, I'll immediately go and check whether the stream is going on perfectly or is there any issue. Right. This. Yeah. I know. Okay, so let's move on to this. Say hi. Okay, we have completed two parts. Now let's move on to the next. Adding a button, conditional rendering. Let's study what conditional rendering is. Before that, the common question is what is v.clickOn do? It attaches a click event handler. Okay, it attaches a click event handler to the button. So when you click it, the specified method runs. Okay, okay. So basically, this is a event handler that we did. Okay, okay. Conditional rendering. Show or hide elements based on data. VIF, VELSE if, or VELSE. Okay, so basically these are if-else statement of HTML or the page stuff. Okay, so if the count is 0, if the count is 5, greater than 5, and else number of replies. Okay, show or hide elements. So what we'll do is, how do I? So let me brainstorm on this. I will do this on my own. Okay, what I need to do is somehow enter this into my HTML code, but where do I place it, right? Where should I place it for this to work properly? Uh, if the count is equals to 0, then no replies yet. If it is equals to it is if it is greater than 5, then you are very popular. Okay, but we'll need a base program for that. We need context for this program to work. uh, how do I incorporate it into a HTML file? ID app. Okay, your conditional rendering. Okay, click button, click count. Okay, v on click equals, it was still say hi, but at this time this was say hi on the button. We were writing say hi on the button itself, and the ID for the say hi button was say hi. Okay, let's keep the code of JS and HTML separate. apologies. Okay. Count is 0. So whenever we click on it, I guess the count should increase. That's what it is supposed to do. But let's see. Let me copy this one and paste it right here. Control A, Control V, eh? Control V. Alright. So we have SRC app. Okay, this ID is not app. App.js, no, application.js, right? Because this location is not small, and that too at capital. Control is, let's save this and let's save this one too. All right, for this one to work, let's see if count. These are the if else conditions as we mentioned. If it is 0, there are no replies. If it is more than 5, you are very popular, and if none of the above cases, then the number of reply is count. Basically, this section. Okay. And for this count in the JS code, we have initial what's it called? Initial value of this saved as 0. And let's go on to the website. Click on this. No replies yet. Add a reply. 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 Hey, you are very popular. Okay, see. Any click after that would just write this. Okay, let's just increase the size. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very popular. So initially, when the count is 0, you'll encounter no replies yet. The first click will give you the values up till the 5th click. After that, any click would result in you are very popular. Okay, done. I hope this one was pretty easy to understand. Well, okay, how is this different from regular JavaScript if else? So with Vue, the HTML updates automatically when the data changes, making your code cleaner and more maintainable. Okay. Because you'll also need to add, where is it? Somewhere in the JavaScript that if if uh, if count, I'm just writing a rough code, right? Test code. If the count is equals to 0, then there's a case of count being greater than 5, and then there's a case of else. You'll have to incorporate this in its entirety right here. And now, right here in your JS code. Whereas with Vue code, you do not have to. You can just simply write it in HTML, and whenever anything changes, you'll simply update it in its this is called, in the live page itself. So there's no calculation going on in your backend. Two-way data binding with vModel. Okay, so add an input box and bind it to data. So basically vModel and placeholder. So the value visitor name in your data will automatically update as you type. Okay, so let me just copy this code and add it right here after this. All right, and put all of this and array, and let's remove all of this for once. Let's remove all of this for once. This your name, your switch ID, I'm writing it, but nothing is here. Two-way binding, it means that changes in the input field update the data, and the changes in the data update the input field. So how does this work? Let's ask GPT to give us an example for this. See, A control C. Let's see if it can do it. Well, obviously it can, but okay. So in the your name is okay. There is another section for that, and there's a click button to clear the name. Okay, but what about the JavaScript file? You'll yes, you'll need some other method to be added to that, right? So let's just simply add this. Right here, the top part remains the same, the bottom part remains the same. What changes is this. Okay, so we have vModel, which links our data to lifetime web page, and there is the section to basically print what we are writing based on the JS model, JS script. Let's remove this. Apart from that, we have a button on which we can click to clear name. Okay, and let's see the JavaScript. The clear wherein we have this method for clear name. So once we click on this clear name button, which will come up due to this line, what will happen is this section, this function, this method will basically make it nothing. The name inside the block will become nothing. All right, let's run the page. All right, your name is SUCHIT SHARMA. So this is lifetime rendering, and two-way data binding. So whenever as it is written, the changes in input field updates the data. So I'm changing the input field, and it is updating the data. And whenever there is also a change of data, there's a change in the input field. So in the backend JS code, if I clear the data, you can see your input field also changes. All right, this that is two-way data binding using vModel. Okay, let's go let's go on to list rendering. List rendering. Before that, let's take a small break of 5 minutes, not more than that. Let me check up the functions, whether the background functions are working properly or not, and let me have some water. Okay, guys, welcome to the second part of week three. And on for the guys who are watching this live, welcome back. I have taken my break and drunk water. Lovely. Let's start. So where were we? Mhm. We were at rendering. We completed two-way data binding. Let's go on to list rendering. Basically, what this does is this creates a list item for each name in the visitor array. So we have v4. Whenever we are using v4, we are using this. What's it called? List rendering. Okay. Do I have this? Okay. Guys, take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this as a. This would be really helpful for quick revision. All right. I guess you have taken it. Let's move back to our topic. It's really small topic. There's not much left. Let's ask Perplexity to make a code for this for us. Incorporate this. So basically, we can see visually what this does. All right. Let's copy it from here and just add it right here. Same goes with the JavaScript. What's changed? What has changed? We still have V model. Then the thing that we have added is V on. Basically adds a visitor and this is a button. And what is the code for list rendering? For list rendering it is V4. So let me move on to V4. Name in the visitors. Okay, li for name in the visitors. Okay, this will be printed along with this code. This is basically mutable. Okay, this is mutable, this is changeable. You can provide value, you can do xyz here, you can do abc here, whatever you put in using a java code, using the web page, and then through the java code you can change it. All right. And what has changed in the java code? If it is not equals to c, there's this function named add visitor, which is a function. If the visitor name is not this, then this visitor name gets pushed. So basically, let me remove this Kung Fu Panda stuff and use this. Okay, so we have this. We have basically a stack in which if this condition is fulfilled, that is something is not empty, not empty. Basically the visitor name, let's say I have a visitor name right here, है ना? I have a visitor name right here, and just below that I have, this is the visitor name, and this is the list in which basically this list represent, this array represents this whole section, this whole stack. So let me move back. Whenever something has whenever the fill in the blank has some value, it will basically push it from the behind. Okay, and then the visitor name again becomes null, nothing. Okay, so how the flow will go is the name is null, then there's a guy like me who will put some value in this, in our case XYZ, then what will happen is this entire function will run. This entire function will run. So let me call this first, this is second, then this is third. What will happen is this thing will add it to the array, basically the stack that we saw from below. We'll push it from below. All right. After all of this, when this entire section is complete, this line, this particular line, will again remove the visitor name. So it was initially XYZ. It was initially XYZ. Then it again becomes nothing. It becomes nothing. So this was initial, and this is final. All right. Let's save this and run this. Where is it? Where is our code? It is here, right? View visitor list example. So let's let me push searching, add visitor. Then let me add, let's say, any name, Bambi. We have to click on add visitor. I'm clicking enter here. Enter won't work. We have not defined it. So yes. Let's add another visitor. Let's call it Andrew sir. Andrew sir. Then we have another visitor, Bharati ma'am. Bharati ma'am. So I guess you understand what I'm trying to say here. And whenever I click refresh, everything gets blank because this value is not being stored anywhere. All right. After this, so this is list rendering. Whenever you add or remove items from the visitor, Vue updates the list in the UI automatically. Yes. So there is no background, there is no SQL, there is no storage unit. Everything that happens on this page itself. Let's move on to computed properties. And if value depends on other data, use a computed property. So using this function, computed count as a function, return visitors.length. Now the count will always reflect the number of visitors, right? Why use computed properties? They automatically recalculate their dependencies. Okay, so let me use this and make a code out of this. Let's ask GPT or AI to use this and make us a code. And I don't think we need this anymore. So this will just take up more memory from my laptop. I have an XML code which I'll paste right here. Similarly, I'll have, is there not, okay, so so I just scroll too fast. So if count is 0, no visitors, else number of visitors, blah blah blah, and we have an if else code here. Then we have this list here. This will make a list, and this part will update the count. And in the JS code, we have two functions. One is methods that will find the length, right? That that will find the length of the array, basically the number of entries that are in the list, and the method will basically just give us, the method will basically push in the entries, push in the new entries. Let's run this. I hope you'll understand this. This is easy. So let's run A. Then there will be B. Then there will be, okay, so every time I'll have to do this. B. Then there should be C. Then there should be D. Then there should be E, right? So we are also increasing the number due to this function. This returns the length of the array. This array stores the name A, B, C, D, E, and this function methods prints it right here. Okay, all right. Why use computed properties? They automatically recalculate when the dependencies change. Okay, bring it all together. Bring it all together. Example. Okay, so whatever we have studied till now, what all we have studied? Have we studied? So basically, Vue.js reactivity, handling events, then buttons, conditional rendering, two-way, data binding, list rendering, and computed properties. Right. So let's use this example to basically do all of this at once. Okay, uh, we'll have a message pop up. Okay, my bad, I printed it in JS. It shouldn't have been printed there. Okay, so a message pop up where this will be rendered using the JS. Whatever we input in the JS will come up here. We have V model wherein it'll take entry from us. We have click, basically, which does something whenever we click on it, which gives us action whenever we do something. Then we have these if else statement that will provide the logical function of that web page, and this is for basically showing the names of the visitors that are present. And after that, after this is done, this one has pretty long JavaScript, right? This one has pretty long JavaScript. Let me copy this. Let me copy this and paste it right here and save it. Let's see what the JavaScript function is doing. So hello world, visitor name, and array. Okay, so we have a message. We have visitor name initially set to nothing. Then we have an array which will store the name of the visitors. Then computed, this function will give us the number of entries that we'll have, and we have already seen that methods, wherein the functions basically this will push in. You remember this stack. This function will push in the names, right, and also print a message hi. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to the page and reload it, right? And let's say, hey, my name is Suchit Sharma, right? And I've entered, say hi, say hi, say hi, say hi, say hi. Nothing works. There's an error. There is an error. Okay, so let me see. I'm not debugging the codes as of now. This is a concept clearing video. I'll do this when I'm making the basically the program itself, right? If I go and debug this one by one, there's no sense. The video will simply go too long, and no one is paying me to do that. Jokes apart, we don't want long videos. We need shorter explanation videos of what this is, right? Let me, why is it so slow? Let it work, let it work, no worries. Till then, is there anything else? Frequently asked questions. What is Vue.js in one sentence? It is a JavaScript framework for building interactive dynamic web user interfaces. Why should I use this instead of JavaScript? It is easier to build and manage complex and interactive UI by handling updates, DOM manipulation. Why? How is it different from React or Angular? Vue is generally considered easier for beginners, has simpler syntax and very flexible, but all three frameworks are powerful for building modern web apps. Okay, and what is the role of Vue instance? Basically, this part is the heart of your app. It connects your data and method to your HTML. Basically, connecting your HTML file to your JavaScript file. Right? What is a component? It is a reusable piece of UI. Uh, do I need to use Vue? It is not required, but it makes debugging and understanding your apps much easier. Yeah, it did make the understanding of the apps really easy, right? Again, I'm telling you guys to take a screenshot of this and understand what each and every single one of this does. All right, I guess we have the code ready. I won't write the code. I won't do anything. I'm a lazy guy. Let me take this. Let me take that. A little bit of this here, a little bit of that there. Save this. Go to the application page. Do this. Hello world. Okay. Switch it. Sharma. Say hi. Number of replies. Hi. Then let's call it. Let's call it Bottle Verma. Say hi. Let's say Allison. Allison Burgers. Say hi. Then we have Ladius Wasroom. Say hi. Then we have employees. Must Washans. Must Washans. And finally, Aladdin. Makubai. Got you. Huh? Okay. So I guess you understood the concept. So you can clearly see that many separate parts of a program, how do they come together and make a single program, right? That was it. Let's go on to the website and solve some questions on this. Where is that? Right. Let's go here. Let's go to the practice assignment. I don't think you'll need it, but what I'll do is also make the videos on screencast, right? Screencast from week 2 and screencast from for week 3. Till then, if an application is entirely built on client end using JavaScript, which of the following statement is true? Okay, so if it is made using JavaScript on the client end without a database, all the progress will always be lost. Yes, as we can see, all the progress may not necessarily be lost. No, it is always lost. Which of the following statement is are correct? The system state is a typically huge collection of data. User interfaces dependent on the application state. Okay, okay. Let's not be ahead of us. This is something that is not covered in the lecture. Let's ask GPT to make us a file. If it does, then we'll learn something new. We'll learn something new, because what I can see clearly here is whatever I taught in the lecture, none of it is here. Everything is from somewhere else, right? Okay, so client side application page and reload. If the okay, so the correct all the progress may not be necessarily be okay. Client-side apps can use browser storage like local storage to preserve some data even if, but unless the storage is used, okay. Uh, Also add examples for us to understand better. है ना? Also add examples for us to understand better. Before I go ahead, let me check the video quality. Listen, burgers. Everyone is live. Listen, burgers. Every single one of them. AI. If you build a to-do app in JavaScript using local storage to save the task, your data will remain after that. If you don't use a browser storage, all tasks will disappear on reload. Okay, that since we were not using any storage on our app, hence it was lost. Every data was lost after the reload. And which one of the following statement is correct? The system state is typically blah blah blah. System state: all user accounts, orders, inventory in Amazon database. Okay. uh, the user interface is dependent on application state. UI dependent. If you logged in, the UI shows your name, otherwise it will show sign in. Okay, okay, okay. So what the user interface is basically dependent on application state. Which state is it on? Are you logged in already, or do you have to log in first? Okay. The shopping cart of a user on an e-commerce website is an example of system state. Okay, system state. Basically, system state will have to learn what you can add stored as a part of system state. Teach me what this is, right? Explain the concept behind this. It refers to all the persistent data stored and managed by the entire system. This includes user accounts, product catalogs, other histories, right? So in Amazon, includes millions of products, user profiles, wish list, and orders and reviews. Okay, as a independent of application state. Okay, application state is the current state. Okay, system state, all the data of an entire system, and application state is the current state, current point wherein you are. Okay, makes sense. Okay, traits of a good UI design. It should be aesthetically pleasing. UI should be adaptive. It should be intuitive. All of the above. It should be entirety. It should cover all of these points. What is declarative versus imperative programming? In imperative programming, all the steps involved are in solving the. Okay. So in interactive programming, all steps involved in the solving of the problem needs to be implemented. In declarative programming, all steps involved in the problem needs to be implemented. In declarative programming, only what to do needs to be declared. In imperative programming, only what to do needs to be declared. Okay. The correct one is in imperative programming, all the steps involved in solving the problems are to be implemented. Whereas in declarative programming, only what to do needs to be declared. Okay. In declaring, you are asking the program to do something, whereas in imperative programming, you are giving the entire code. Okay. If we go on to this example that we have here, so basically this part, this section is declarative, whereas this entire thing is imperative. That's what I understood. That's what my understanding is currently. Application state. Which of the following is correct regarding application state? The state of the page which is currently visible to the user is an example of application state. Yes, it is. Application state is everything that is present in the memory. No, it is completely independent of user interface. Let's check the answers here itself so that we do not have say. Right, I was correct. All the news articles published in the Hindu in the all the what's happening? Come on, what's happening? I have been speaking so long that I forget what I'm speaking. All news articles published on the Hindu newspaper is an example of uh, basically application state or system state. Okay, okay. But why is it of system state? Why? Okay, so basically, they all of these articles are stored in the database of the Hindus and persist over time. Basically, you can access it later on, and do not only this the data does not only matter when you are watching it. You can anyone can watch it anytime at any place. Okay, imperative needs all, declarative just what to do. It is all of the above. System state, and then the user interface. Okay, may not necessarily be lost when we are using storage of the browser. Okay guys, so this covers week 3. I hope you understood what I learned and what I was trying to teach you. I'm sorry if the video was not up to the mark, or this content was not up to the mark. Do leave comments of what can be improved and what all should be improved. Thanks a lot. Let me close this, and again, sayonara.